One bright morning, Rosie the cat set out on a special journey through the enchanted forest to visit her grandmother. She waved happily to her neighbors, carrying a basket filled with sweet berries. The forest shimmered with glowing mushrooms, and Rosie's eyes sparkled with wonder. Along the path, Rosie kindly greeted a little rabbit who hopped by to say hello. She crossed a glowing stone bridge. In the forest, a magical deer with sparkling antlers guiding Rosie along the path. Tall trees whispered secrets as she passed, filling her with amazement. Glowing plants lit her path as she walked calmly through the forest. The enchanted forest stretched endlessly, glowing with magic, and Rosie stepped in with a brave little heart. But in the shadows, a sly wolf was watching Rosie closely. He grinned wickedly, plotting a trick. Rosie stopped to think, curious about which path to take. "Take the flower path," the wolf said kindly, though his eyes glimmered with mischief. Rosie decided to follow Wolf's advice. Above her, rainbow-colored birds soared, painting the sky with color. Rosie paused at a glowing stream, smiling peacefully at her reflection. The wolf rushed down a secret shortcut, eager to reach grandmother's cottage first. Meanwhile, Rosie skipped happily down the flowery trail, unaware of the danger. Rosie held her basket proudly, knowing her grandmother would be so happy. The wolf slipped through a hollow tree, closer and closer to the cottage. At last, the wolf reached grandmother's cozy little cottage. The cottage sat quietly among flowers, its windows glowing warmly. The wolf is wearing red hoodie pretending to be Rosie and knocked gently. Grandmother peeked out, surprised to see a strange visitor. But before she could speak, the wolf leapt inside with a snarl. The wolf immediately locking grandmother inside a room. While all this was happening, poor grandmother was locked inside the back room. No matter how much she called out, her voice could not be heard from outside. Inside grandmother's quaint cottage, chaos erupts as the wolf desperately searches through her wardrobe. Quickly, he dressed in grandmother's bonnet, smirking at his disguise. In bed lay the wolf, with big eyes and big teeth, pretending to be grandmother. In the forest, Rosie even shared a berry with a tiny fairy, who twinkled with delight. The fairy wanted to be her friend, making Rosie laugh with joy. Soon, Rosie walked up the path, smiling as she neared the cottage. The wolf curled up under the blanket, grinning slyly, waiting for Rosie. She loved exploring new places, always curious about what lay ahead. She stepped inside, holding her basket tightly. Realizing the living room was empty, Rosie tiptoed inside the bedroom. To her relief, she finally found grandmother, waiting safely inside. "Grandmother, what big eyes you have," she said. "All the better to see you with, my dear," the wolf speaks. Suddenly, the wolf threw off the blanket and walked away. Innocence dances in her voice as Rosie asks, "What big ears you have." In the rocking chair, the wolf, in grandmother's clothing, his disguise failing to conceal his menacing intent. The air thickens with dread as the wolf reveals his true form. Rosie's eyes widen in sheer terror and stumbled back in fear. "Aya!" Rosie cries out, fear gripping her. She quickly turned and ran, looking for a safe place to hide. The fairy just flew past Rosie's house to see the wolf is inside. In the midst of practicing with his axe, Woodcutter suddenly notices a fairy nearby. Fairy urgently warns the woodcutter, a wolf is trying to trick Rosie and grandmother. Please, you must hurry. Rosie needs your help right now. Wolf teasing, come out, little Rosie. You can't hide forever. I'll find you. Just then, the woodcutter burst through the door, axe raised high. The woodcutter is coming. Woodcutter is observing the room carefully. Rosie and grandmother clung to each other, scared but hopeful. Wait, Woodcutter. I just wanted to sneak into the house. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. Rosie immediately cut in, no, Woodcutter, don't believe him. The wolf tried to trick me and grandmother. The wolf snarled fiercely, crouching low and ready to fight. The woodcutter swung his axe, driving the wolf back. The wolf yelped and ran into the forest, tail tucked in defeat. Rosie, smiling warmly, thank you, Woodcutter. You saved us, we're really grateful. The woodcutter smiled kindly, glad everyone was safe. Grandmother hugged Rosie tightly, tears of joy in her eyes. That evening, Rosie, grandmother, and the woodcutter shared a warm meal together. They laughed joyfully by the fire, the cottage glowing with peace. Far away, the wolf slunk back into the forest, never to return. And so, under the starry skies, the enchanted forest rested in peace, with Rosie safe at home. Rosie laughed happily, her eyes bright with relief. As the sun rose, Rosie hugged her grandmother and the kind woodcutter goodbye. With her basket in hand and a happy heart, she began her journey back home. Rosie stepped onto the forest path once more. Seeing the forest quiet and peaceful, she let out a soft sigh of relief.